Tonight on UCentral, founder of a Texas megachurch has pled guilty to child sex abuse charges. An AI actress is headed to Hollywood. Chelsea Rios will have your social media update. UCO volleyball had their first loss this weekend. Phil Rodriguez will have your look at sports. If you have fall allergies, stay tuned as Elijah DePona will have your weather report.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Hello Broncos, I'm Zach Sexton.
And I'm Valerie Scott. Thank you for joining us on this edition of UCentral News.
The founder of a Texas megachurch has pleaded guilty to child sex abuse charges. Robert Morris, the founder and former pastor of Gateway Church in Southlake, Texas, entered the pleas in an Oklahoma courtroom Thursday. The charges stem from incidents that date back to the 1980s. The victim was 12 years old at the time, and the abuse took place over 4 years. Under a plea agreement, Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence and will serve 6 months in jail. The 64-year-old must register as a sex offender and pay restitution to the victim.
Jury selection is now underway in a lawsuit against Frontier City after a roller coaster accident back in 2019. A 12-year-old boy, Ben Wilson, suffered a broken neck and a brain injury after a tree branch fell on him and his father during the ride. The family filed suit against Frontier City and its parent company, Six Flags, for damages back in 2019. According to the state, overgrown trees near the rides have been a concern of the state since 2016. The Frontier City's Fright Fest is in full swing this October, but for one family, the memories tied to the park are far from festive.
Up next, Elijah DePona has our first look at weather.
Hi there, my name is Elijah DePona with your look at weather. All right, today our temperature is going to be 85 degrees out there. All right, sunny. As y'all can see a little bit behind me, there's going to be some clouds, but the sun is still shining bright. As y'all look, we have a southern wind of 9 miles per hour and a gust of 18 miles per hour. So that means that you're going to feel the wind, but nothing too crazy. The humidity outside is going to be 50%. And it's going to feel like 86, so it's pretty close to what it is. Right? As we keep looking, we're going to be able to see that tree and the weed pollen, the allergy index is going to be pretty high going throughout this week and definitely into the weekend. As we look as well, the grass and the mold is going to be in the medium range, but it's climbing up there as we keep going throughout the week. Right? Now, if we look ahead, we're going to have a very sunny week as we keep going, especially throughout the weekend, but the weekend's also going to come with some high allergies, all right? So trees, pollen, mold, things of that nature, but it's going to be hot for the rest of the week, right? So once y'all get your shorts out, once you get your t-shirt out, you're going to be able to keep it out. And a little fun fact, it's National Noodle Day, so I know Poe from Kung Fu Panda would be pretty happy. I'm going to throw it back to the desk.
Thank you, Elijah, for our first look at weather. Climate campaigner Greta Thunberg has been deported from Israel after she and some 450 activists were arrested last week. They were arrested aboard the Global Summit Flotilla, a coalition of more than 40 humanitarian aid vessels carrying food, water, and medicine toward Gaza. The flotilla, which set sail in August, was the latest attempt by activists to break the years-long Israeli blockade of the Palestinian territory by sea. Israel claims the blockade is legal. Many of the detained activists remain in prison in Israel. Some of the deported flotilla participants claimed they were mistreated while detained and expressed fears of their fellow activists still in Israel. So far, Israeli authorities have deported at least 170 of detained activists. Israel has strongly denied allegations of mistreating the group and has said, quote, all of the detainees' legal rights are fully upheld.
Police are investigating 2 shootings that took place on the South Carolina State University's campus on Saturday. This was homecoming weekend at the school, and university officials canceled a concert that was scheduled because of the shooting. Authorities say a woman died in one of the shootings and a man was wounded in the second incident. Investigators believe the shootings are separate and not connected. They say the victims were not students at the school, but people visiting for the homecoming events. Police arrested an 18-year-old for firing shots at someone and carrying a weapon on campus. It is unclear if the teen, Matthew McCoy, was involved in either shooting. Police say they are still investigating. In the meantime, the university remains on lockdown, and the school has canceled classes for Monday.
3 people were hospitalized in a fire at a state circuit judge's home in South Carolina. The home, located in Istanbul Beach, went up in flames Saturday afternoon. Local media confirming the home is owned by Circuit Judge Deanne Goodstein and her husband, former state senator Arnold Goodstein. The occupants of the home were rescued in kayaks due to the remote location. Several of their injuries are unknown, as is the cause of the fire.
After less than a month on the job, French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu has resigned. Lecornu made the announcement Monday, just hours after unveiling his new cabinet, sending political shockwaves across France. Lecornu blamed endless party divisions and egos in parliament. Both the left and right blasted his cabinet as a betrayal of his promise for change. Markets fell as plans for Tuesday's budget vote collapsed. Political scientists say it is now up to President Macron to decide whether to dissolve parliament or call for new presidential elections.
Up next, Elijah DePona will have your first full look at weather after the break.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
I'm high.
Oh.
Hi there, I'm Elijah DePona with your current weather. Outside, as y'all can see, there's a little bit of an overcast, but it's still sunny outside with 85 degrees, right? We got a southern wind of 9 with a gust of 18. That means that you're going to be able to feel the wind, but nothing too crazy, right? We have a humidity of 50%, but it feels like 86 degrees. So that's 1 degree up. All right, as we look through the entire state, the current conditions is going to be around high 80s throughout the entire state. But as we look up in the Panhandle, we're going to see up there in Guymon, it's going to be 59 degrees. That's because of a rain gust coming down throughout the state. It's going to be coming from the top of the state, moving down. But it's not going to hit us in the middle. We're going to have a sunny, full, clear skies as we keep going throughout the week. All right? As we look tonight, we're going to see a partly cloudy outside of 61 degrees. All right? Northern wind of 6 miles per hour. That means that we're going to be able to go outside and truly enjoy the night. Still a humidity of 50%. But like I said before, I'm going to say again, where we are in OKC, no rain. All right? As we look on tonight, we're going to see in OKC, we're 61. Up there in Tulsa, we're going to be 63. Up there in Miami, 60. We look further down in Idabel, 66. All right, so everything else is going to be pretty conjoined together, unless you looked up there in the Panhandle, Guymon once again being its own self at 46 degrees. All right? As we look ahead, we're going to have a sunny week, full throughout the week. Like I said before, we're going to have high allergies throughout the week, especially throughout the weekend. So if you do have tree or pollen allergies, do watch out and keep your medicine with you. It's going to be hot throughout the week, though. So no heavy jackets, no sweatpants, things of that nature. Another fun fact for you is the supermoon. All right, so look out for that. All right, if we look through tomorrow, we're going to get right back up there, but not going to get as high as we were today, but we're going to get into the high 70s and mid 70s. OKC at 76, Tulsa at 75. We look right beside OKC and Clinton at 73. All right, but we see that outlier still being an outlier up there, the Panhandle, 57. All right, as we look through the daily forecast for tomorrow, all right, tomorrow is going to be sunny. We're going to have, it's going to start with 61 degrees in the morning. As we move on to noon, we're going to get to 88. That's going to be one of our highest, all right, throughout the week. All right, and we're going to get later on tonight, through it tonight, at 59 degrees. Now, if we look through the 7-day forecast, we're going to be able to see that we're going to start off strong at 88. We're going to dip down as the week keeps going, but we're going to get right back up there towards the weekend, back in the mid to high 80s, I should say, with 86 on Friday, 87 on Saturday and on Sunday, with a low of 56 and 59 as we go throughout the week. Now, I'm going to throw it right back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Elijah, for our full look at weather. Coming up, what hit series has new skins that dropped on Fortnite?
And what iconic game has re-released on Switch 2? Stay tuned as Chelsea Rios has more after the break.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field?
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Hello Broncos, I'm Chelsea Rios and this is your social media update. The 80s singer-songwriter Cyndi Lauper announced she's going to Sin City. Although Cyndi Lauper completed her farewell tour, she announced that it wouldn't be the end of her performing. Her first residency at the Coliseum Theater at Caesars Palace will take place in late April and early May. Tickets will go on sale this week. Cyndi Lauper will also be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this November. And K-pop Demon Hunter fans can now play as their favorite character on Fortnite. There's also a new mode on Fortnite called Demon Rush mode. It will be available through November 1st. The full bundle for all skins, weapons, and emotes costs around 3,500 V-Bucks in Fortnite currency, which is around $32 in US currency. A new star was added onto the Hollywood Walk of Fame, making it the 36th inductee this year. Actress, producer, and writer Lauren Graham got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Friday. She is best known for her role on the TV show Gilmore Girls for her role as Lorelai Gilmore. She is also a New York Times best-selling author and Broadway actress. Graham will also play a part in the upcoming movie Reminders of Him, based on Colleen Hoover's book. The movie is set to come out February 6, 2026. And Nintendo announced a re-release of its original games on Switch 2. Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 are now available as of October 2nd for physical and digital re-release. You can buy it as a bundle or individually. And a new game on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox console is Digimon Storytime Stranger. The game is a role-playing game and features more than 450 Digimon to collect. Digimon is Storytime Stranger is now available to play as of October 3rd. Hollywood introduced a new actress, but with a twist. Tilly Norwood is a new AI-generated actress making headlines for what is possible with new technology. Tilly is bringing in controversy in Hollywood as an AI played a key role in the 2023 writers and actors strikes, which ended with agreements and regulated use of the technology. The Screen Actors Guild president, Sean Astin, says Tilly is a mashup of their actors' talents. It is unclear if Tilly will play a role in the television show or movie soon. Well, that's all for your social media update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Chelsea, for our social media update. Coming up, the #1 ranked Bronco volleyball team had a tough time this weekend.
And football came just inches short of a win. But which Bronco favorite made his return with a stellar performance? Phil Rodriguez has sports coming up next.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Howdy ho, Broncos! It's Phil Rodriguez here with your Monday Sports Report. Well, the UCO Broncos took on the Central Missouri Mules in an MIAA battle last Saturday. Let's go to the highlights. First quarter, first of all, we're at home at the Chad Richardson Stadium. First quarter down 21-7. Jet Huff, making his return from injury, finds Dominique Dunn wide open in the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown pass. Get the Broncos back within a score, puts a smile on the faces of Buck Bronco and Todd Lamb. Then later on in the second quarter, down 28-14, Jalen Cottrell, wha-bam, strong running straight up the middle for a 9-yard touchdown, cut the lead to 8. Joseph Kim adds the PAT to make it 28-21 Mules, but then the fourth quarter is where it got crazy. Jet Huff finds Christian Valeriano for the catch of the season. One-handed, yanks it down like he's grabbing mama's cookies off the top shelf. Huge touchdown, ties the game at 28 after the Kim extra point. But then with 2:56 remaining in the game, the Broncos go to tie it up one more time. Huff rolls right, finds Dunn for his second receiving touchdown, but then Joseph Kim misses the extra point wide right. How fitting, since Florida State versus Miami was last weekend. Lots of wide right results in that one. The score would hold to give UCM the game and drop the Broncos to 2-3 on the season. Now, despite the loss, it was a huge bright spot to get quarterback Jet Huff back after he missed the last 3 games due to injury. Huff finished with a Baker Mayfield-esque 394 yards on 32 completions out of 48 attempts with an astounding 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions. But the top-ranked Broncos volleyball team dropped their first match of the season this weekend, falling 3-1 to the Central Missouri Jennies. Longtime head coach Edgar Miraku told Broncosports.com, "We made too many mistakes, especially defensively. We just have to put it behind us and prepare for the next match." Despite the loss, the Broncos still had a few excellent individual performances. Senior outside hitter Sidney Huck had a season-high 18 kills, as well as 10 digs and 4 blocks, while senior setter Lindsey Huron added another 43 assists to bring her season total to 616, good for top 5 in NCAA Division II. The Jennies have been a constant thorn in the Broncos' side and are one of only a handful of MIAA opponents that hold an all-time winning record against UCO. The MIAA announced the official preseason polls for men's and women's basketball, and both of UCO's teams have a spot in the rankings. UCO's women's team has been named number 12 out of 14 MIAA teams. But first-year head coach Hannah Muller isn't worried about their spot. She told Bronco Sports, quote, "We know the work that needs to be done, and we've got a lot to prove." UCO's men's team, meanwhile, was named number 3 in the coaches poll and 5th in the MIAA media poll. Head coach Bob Hoffman returns for his 7th season, having compiled a career record of 113-66, good for 4th all-time for Bronco basketball coaches. The men's team will open their season in the D2 CCA Tip-Off Classic in Langley, British Columbia, taking on Simon Fraser on October 31st. That's Halloween, trick or treat. The women's team makes their debut Friday, November 14th against Southwest Minnesota State at the Hamilton Fieldhouse. Well, that's all I've got for sports. Valerie, Zach, what kind of sports did you guys watch this week? And y'all check out any NFL?
I can't say that I did because I won't lie, I'm not that big of a sports girl. I like being out in nature. Zach, what about you?
Phil, just don't talk to me about my Ravens right now, but thank you, Phil.
Coming up, keep an eye on the skies as the first supermoon of the year is tonight.
Let's hope it's not cloudy. Elijah DePona will have her last look at weather after the break.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Expanding horizons, making room for the new. The modern frontier is ready for you. There's more to discover, more fun to be found. Our city is rising, just look around. Attractions, adventures, excitement and thrills. Rooms of beauty and history where knowledge is filled. A convergence of cultures in spectacular places. Open skies, open minds, and wide open spaces. The modern frontier awaits you to embrace it.
It's officially fall, and you know what that means. Cooling temperatures, colorful foliage, and falling leaves, plus the sight of a harvest moon on a clear autumn night. The harvest moon will be visible from Monday night until early Tuesday. It should be extra special because this year is also the first of 3 back-to-back supermoons. A supermoon happens when the moon reaches its nearest point to the Earth, making it look larger and fuller. October's full moon is called the harvest moon because it's the moon closest to the first day of fall. Historically, its bright light helped farmers finish their harvest for the year.
Stay with us, Broncos, as Elijah DePona has your last look at weather.
Hi there, Broncos. I got your last look at weather. Like they said, first things first, though, the sunny week is coming up, all right? The sun is going to be out there in full force, all right? But that also means allergies are going to be out there in full force. So I want y'all to keep your tissues and everything you need on you. It's going to be hot for the rest of the week. And like they mentioned before, the first supermoon season's coming up. All right, as we look through the entire state tomorrow, we're going to have a baseline about mid-70s throughout the entire state, with Oklahoma City being one of the top ones with 76. We go down to Ardmore, 84. Right beside Ardmore is Lawton, going to be 82. The highest going to be Idabel at 87, all the way in the bottom. But as we look through our daily forecast for tomorrow, the morning is going to start around 61 degrees, but as we keep moving throughout the day, we're going to reach noon, which is going to be our highest at 88, and we're going to dip right back down at night around 7 p.m. with 59. We're going to end the day off right. As we look through a 7-day forecast, we're going to see that today's 88, but it's going to dip a little bit down as we go throughout the week, with Tuesday being one of our lowest at 75, and we're going to climb right back up there all the way to the weekend, which when we reach Friday, we're going to be at 86, and our highest of that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 87 throughout it, with our low temperatures throughout the night going to be 56 throughout the beginning of the week, and as we keep moving out the week, the temperatures are going to rise. So things like popsicles, things like picnics, they're going to be something that you should be looking forward to and enjoying this week. Right back to y'all at the desk, okay?
Thank you, Elijah. Starbucks is teaming up with Hello Kitty. Starting November 6th, Starbucks coffee houses across the U.S. and Canada will start featuring Hello Kitty merchandise. That includes plush toys, coffee mugs, and tumblers. Starbucks is also giving a sneak peek at its menu for the holiday season. Offerings will include peppermint mocha, caramel brulee latte, iced sugar cookie latte, and iced gingerbread chai. The new menu will also be available starting November 6th. Well, Broncos, that is all the time we have for today. My name is Zachary Sexton.
And I'm Valerie Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight, Broncos.